No? Paul, anything?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, so this is your proposal for fall deadlines. The filing period for setting that at a week in September, and essentially giving 2 months to essentially sign off all LSRs. So OLS has plenty of opportunity to get everything drafted, as well as the last day to report retained bills. And then Thursday, January 8th, which would be the day after convening day, we'd likely be in session anyway that day, both those days to deal with retained bills. So this sort of gets us in the queue for the fall. Then sometime later this fall, the Rules Committee would reconvene to talk about spring deadlines, but we're not. We usually do that in conjunction with the Senate after the summer has gone, and you all have some other mitigating legislation potentially involving primaries to consider as well. So those are some things that you'll want to have figured out before we proceed with doing more.
Anybody comments, questions? Okay, all those, the motion before us is the adoption of the amendment to House rules for the fall session. All in favor?
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, did somebody move to adopt? I didn't have a...
I move we adopt the deadlines as listed on our agenda.
I will second.
Okay, any discussion? No discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And they are adopted. I know it seems like we had to bring you here for this one little thing, but is there any other business before us, or?
We were talking before we came, curious if OLS is going to remain where they are next year, or are they going to follow us to the other building?
They'll be still in the State House building, am I right, Aaron? Yeah, they'll still be where they are in the State House building.
I mean, just occasionally there's a desire to quickly file an amendment, and obviously that will be not happening if they're in a different building.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to that point, Representative Sullivan, we do, especially now with the online intake form, OLS is able to process those. You'll be able to do that right from the computer over there, or you can call, just like now. The only difference is you might run across the street, but if you call, your committee assistant calls, etc., the only thing will be the distance. But I mean, everybody's planning to be just as receptive as always. Yes.
Can we probably assume then that there'll just be a printer and everything set up like an office that we could print out whatever comes from OLS in terms of amendments?
So House Committee Services will be on site up there as well, and they will. Nothing is going to change in terms of the committee amendments and the way that those are handled and processed and handed out for deliberations.
Just another day in our adventure over the last 4 or 5 years. Is there any other business come before us? If not, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
To adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.